painful rhythm beat against my skull and rung in my ears. Dry grass prickled against my cheeks and my hands as I tried to lift myself to my knees. An ache pulled in every muscle in my body, and increased with an intensity that shackled me down with every movement I made. Something was missing though. I blinked rapidly. I believe I had gone blind. I squinted, desperately searching for light when faint gray outlines of roots and grass finally appeared, and a rustling of cloth and vegetation accompanied the shifting fold of clothes. A silhouetted figure laid sprawled out in front of a tree stump, where its head rested and its limbs flared outwards in the shape of an X. I noticed the wickedly sharp knife, its bright steel blade slightly pulled from its sheath. His figure was absent of any color, all black with faint peaks and folds in the clothes, just different enough in color that a sharp observer could distinguish it. There was something about the figure that laid in front of me that was devoid of humanity, but I couldn't describe it. It was as though I was looking at a pale husk of a person, rather than an actual human. I managed to croak a question. Are you alive? I am alive, but I wish I wasn't. The syllables escaped his lips with great difficulty. You can't be here. You have to leave. There's something here and it's not safe. What's here? I shouted. Suddenly the leaves around us rustled from every direction, even from the trees. Run. His body violently shook, sending chills through my body that made my hair spring out and froze me in place. No! Tremors shook me into a furious sprint. Flight. My feet soared over the dark grass and crooked roots. The adrenaline fought my fatigue and drove me. The rustling came in pulses, becoming more and more frequent. I ran and ran until the ground met my feet the wrong way, sending me into a tumble rudely stopped by a tree. My head lurched up to meet my pursuers. I met the creature's eyes. It resembled a wolf, but calling it one would have been an insult to all natural things. Its black fur stood out against the dark ground, waving in and out like a pulse as it emitted a rustling noise. The most striking feature was its eyes. Despite the lightless environment that would make a man feel blind, they stood out even darker. It was impossible to fathom how dark those eyes were. They were emptier than any black imaginable. Fight. One of them jumped out in front of me to cut me off and impede my escape, long enough for another one to bite against the back of my left shin. A sharp burning sensation shot up my entire leg. I sweep my right leg across to kick and release the beast's grasp, but the attack was ineffectual. I yell out as its teeth tore at my leg. Drawing out my knife in the backhand position, the blade was driven into my captor. Its grip loosened and allowed me to escape. I bared my teeth, eyes wild as I turned to meet the beast that obstructed me. My injured leg buckled as I heard the beast snort and I fell to my knees. My eyes widened in fear and stared through the empty sockets of the beast. I was unprepared to fight such an imposing creature, but my fists clenched and readied themselves, my body still ready to fight in anticipation of an attack. But no such attack came. Instead, the wolf turned around and swiftly departed. Relief shot through me as I fell to my back. Digest. I'm finally able to digest my surroundings and try to rationalize the situation. The forest is completely devoid of any color. Leaves that are normally wide and rich are all shades of gray. All so gray. All so dark. I am unable to digest any of this information. I don't remember anything that happened before I woke up here, nor do I understand why any of this is happening. The night plagued the environment. The blackened trees, the ashen-like leaves, the dead grass, the overcast sky, and the creatures, the man. Before I am able to organize all this information, a gale interrupts the stillness, stealing my attention and scattering my unorganized thoughts until they scatter beyond repair. My arms crossed in front of my face to shield my face from the wind, and I was blown down onto the ground. When the winds subside, I see the black winds manifest into a familiar figure, the man from before. I freeze in my place, trying to pick up all the pieces of my mind that have fallen and shattered, trying to piece together an answer from all this madness. The man now appears pitch black. It drifts towards me as a wake of dusty leaves trail its feet. I try to move my feet, I try to move something to make an attempt in order to defend myself, but I find myself unable to do so, unable to even allow myself to collapse. It begins to extend its arms in an X shape, growing in size and width as it got closer and closer, finally enveloping me in its shadowy hold, its chilly embrace against my skin, and then there was nothing. Nothing. Just like that, there was nothing, just like before I arrived here. My body feels as though it were carved out like a pumpkin, and in the place of seeds, my mind is trapped in this hollow prison. I couldn't move, I could only peer through my sockets as though they were a pair of binoculars. Time passes and I find no hope for any escape from this torment. An eternity of emptiness, trapped in my own empty body in an empty forest devoid of all natural life. Days, weeks, and months of time pass of constant consciousness until I lose track of time. I lose my sanity, praying for an escape from my frozen flesh cell. I hear a voice call out to me, shakily asking a question. Are you alive? Maybe I had finally succumbed to the loneliness and regressed to imagining voices, but I didn't care anymore. I just wanted someone to believe I was still alive. I whispered back to the voice, I